Hi there and welcome. I really appreciate you listening to this video because what it means is that you've volunteered or at least shown interest in volunteering in being a host to run one of the groups that MyMeetingPlace.com.au is looking to set up to help people stay connected during this very difficult time of COVID-19 when really the ground is very uncertain beneath our feet. People don't know what's going to happen. They have a lot of anxieties, a lot of pressures. They may have been impacted either directly or certainly just indirectly by having to isolate and keep separate from friends, family, work colleagues, that kind of thing. People may have lost their job. They may have someone in their life who's been diagnosed with COVID-19. And so the group is there that you're going to be running to help those people to be supported over a period of time. It's anticipated that the groups will run weekly. You as the host will determine when that is with your group. It'll be set up for you in the first place, but between you and the group, you'll organise a time that works for you all. We also expect that the group will run for about an hour. It may go for longer, it may go for shorter, depending on the size, and it doesn't have to be rigid and fixed either, but it's about an hour. It isn't a therapy group, and it isn't a counselling group. So your skills that you've been learning about, this gives you the opportunity to demonstrate them and to utilise them in the best way possible in order to let the people who participate in your group really unfold their stories and discuss and get some support about what's happening for them. That's all. You're not there to do therapy or to sort of change their lives or anything. What you are there to do is help them keep connected and to develop the cohesion of the group. And I'm going to say a lot more about some of those group concepts to help you with that. But basically your task is to kind of hold it together, to model good communication skills, to make sure that the participants have even time and get heard. If anything happens in that space, like someone gets very emotional and it turns out that they've got much bigger issues, then you would refer that back to me or to Poonam to get some help, and you'll be given some links to provide your group participants should they need them for resources outside the capacity of My Meeting Place. So that's really all I've got to say. It's just very briefly, it's about a 1 hour group. It'll have 6 to 8, possibly 10 participants. There may be two people hosting, so you might have a co-host with you. That will be something that you and I can discuss whether you think that you want that or you'd like to be involved in that kind of process. But probably it'll be just one host. And the thing that you need to bear in mind is this group is going to be closed. And that means that it will run for probably about 16 sessions. So we're looking at 4 months with weekly sessions each month. So that's about 16 sessions where you would run the group and host it consistently over that time, and you'd have a consistent or what's called a stable membership. If a person dropped out and it got a bit small, again, we would discuss that and consider whether we might introduce someone to that group. But essentially it's a closed group. So the purpose of that is the members of that group get to start to do their own supporting, they get to know each other better so that the connections are deeper. I'm looking with My Meeting Place to have a place that people go each week and they get to know one another. It's not just a bounce in, bounce out, and we never see each other again, because that misses the point of what the meeting place does, which is develop deeper relationships, deeper connections, ongoing kinds of connections. Beyond the 16 weeks, people might decide that they want to go further and continue the group. That would be up to you and I and Poonam to discuss whether that was suitable, whether you had the resources or the desire to do that. I'm hoping that you will if it turns out that way, or you might start a new group. So there's all sorts of determinants and variations to how this might unfold. Each host will receive 1 hour of supervision per 5 hours of group hosting, okay? And that will be, again, that will be a sort of a group supervision session. And it will just help you along with if there's some sort of members sure about how they communicate or any issues that arise, or if someone's sort of exhibiting more perhaps clinical struggles that would need something more therapeutic and more specific to help them out with. Look, I hope that's enough to start. I'm really excited about this because I think we can make a big difference in a really, really challenging time. So if you'd like to talk more with me about it, you can either contact Pornham or you can call myself and we can have a conversation to go further. I'm going to be providing more materials as we get closer. If you've got any input or feedback into how this works that could contribute, also happy to hear from you on that basis. Thanks again for showing your interest in volunteering as a host for the My Meeting Place groups. We'll be speaking to you soon.